Hey everybody, welcome to the Experience Health Podcast. Today I am teaching you how to fix your sugar cravings. So in today's podcast, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step process to kick sugar cravings to the curb for good starting tomorrow, okay? So if you're the type of person who's like constantly looking at that bowl of candy at work, trying to force yourself not to eat it all, or maybe you are so good during the day and then you tend to just binge out in the evening and you struggle to stay away from sugary foods and highly processed foods, then this is for you, okay? 10 things starting tomorrow to do to kick sugar cravings to the curb. First thing, drink at least 20 ounces of water when you wake up. All right, make sure that you get hydrated upon waking. Step number 2 is eat a balanced meal full of fiber, protein, and fats in the morning before coffee. You can have carbohydrates in here, but I really want to make sure that they're full of fiber, protein, and fats especially, okay? And also eat it in the order of fiber, protein, fats, and then carbohydrates. Number 3 is if you do drink coffee, I recommend you drink adaptogenic coffee with natural sweetener like honey or coconut sugar or maple syrup and raw milk or coconut milk. Or if you can find a higher quality whole milk, that's better. But definitely paying attention to the sources is really important, okay? Number 4, have a protein and fibrous snack on hand. If you do get hungry before lunch or before your next meal, or you can take a tablespoon of coconut oil between meals to reduce sugar cravings, okay? But definitely try to eat every 3 to 4 hours. Number 5, eat a balanced lunch always. And make sure that you're in a parasympathetic state. Most of the time people are eating in lunch, they're a little bit more stressed because it's the middle of the workday or whatever. So making sure that you take some time to get into a parasympathetic state to eat will help you in managing your stress hormones, your blood sugar, along with your appetite. Number 6, go on a walk outside for your lunch break if you have the time. This is optional because not everyone has the time to do this, but if you're able to get a 5, 10, or 30-minute walk after you eat your food, then I highly recommend doing so. If your work for some reason has a treadmill and maybe it's terrible weather outside, getting some form of movement in is better than no movement, but I highly recommend going outside and getting some movement in. Number 7, have a pre-workout snack. So if you're, this kind of just depends on when you're working out, but let's say you're working out after work, make sure that you have a snack that is quicker carbs for this one to help support energy for your workout. And then along the same lines, number 8 is make sure that you lift 3 to 5 times per week, as muscle is crucial for hormonal regulation, metabolism, and blood sugar balance. Number 9, eat a balanced meal for dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bed if your schedule allows, okay? I know some people, they get home kind of late and then they have to get to sleep maybe like an hour after they eat. If that's just what your schedule is, then don't stress about it because there's not much that you can do about it. But if able, try to make sure that you have a balanced meal before dinner. Again, at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. Now, it's ideal to not eat 2 to 3 hours before bed so that your body is not having to digest while it's trying to recover and restore your body and your cells in the middle of the night when you're sleeping. But number 10, if you notice that you tend to wake up in the middle of the night, I recommend that you eat a higher carb with a little bit of fat snack before bed if you notice that, because pretty much what that can mean is your blood sugar might drop too much and wake you up. Or if you're the type of individual who struggles getting to sleep on an empty or almost empty stomach. I know I'm personally that way. I have to have a snack, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour before I go to bed. Because if I have an empty stomach, it's really difficult for me to get to sleep. So anyways, for those 2 scenarios, you can definitely have a higher carb with some fat snack before bed. Again, you don't want it to be like purely carbs because you still don't want a huge glucose spike, but giving your body some glucose and some fat to help decrease that glucose spike will be helpful if that is a scenario that you are noticing. Now, a bonus little tip here for you to help mitigate sugar cravings is supplementing with 5-HTP, about 100 to 200 milligrams daily. That can, again, help mitigate sugar cravings. So I wouldn't recommend implementing any supplementation until you have fully integrated blood sugar regulation tips, which there are more than what I have in this podcast, and making sure that you, of course, implement these 10 steps of how to kind of like plan out your day for best blood sugar regulation and to help you kick sugar cravings to the curb. So what I recommend you do is trying this out tomorrow, like actually implementing the steps, and I can guarantee your sugar cravings will go away in a week, okay? But if they don't, it's really important to know that there's very likely a parasite, fungal, or bacterial infection, which you will need to get taken care of. So if you have done this for a while, you follow practices to regulate your blood sugar, maybe you've been focusing on regulating your hormones, healing your gut, whatever, and you still just constantly crave sugar, or you always crave sugar in the evening or whatever, then likely is something like candida, which feeds off of sugar, which is why your body will crave sugar. Again, if you're craving sugar, that doesn't mean you need sugar. So definitely just keep that in mind, and that's kind of like something to, pay attention to. But if this podcast was helpful for you, definitely share this episode with a friend, and subscribe for more.